Punxsutawney Phil is easily the most famous groundhog in the world. Phil lives in the small U.S. town of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and is cared for by the townspeople. However, every February 2nd, Phil is placed in the ground at Cobbler's Knob, where he carries on a tradition that is over 100 years old. Many people believe the length of the winter can be predicted on this day, called Groundhog Day. It is said that on this day, when Phil emerges from his hole, if he sees his shadow, there will be 6 more weeks of winter weather. If Phil does not see his shadow, spring will arrive early. Can the duration of winter really be predicted by a groundhog? Probably not, but the town has a great time celebrating this tradition.
Coco was a famous gorilla who used human sign language. Coco was taught sign language by psychologist Penny Patterson when Coco was just a baby. Patterson was studying whether gorillas could be taught to communicate. Although the study was only supposed to last a couple of years, Patterson and Coco developed a lifelong bond and worked together ever since. Coco began by learning basic words like eat, drink, and more, and eventually learned abstract ideas such as love, jealous, and shame. It is believed that Coco could sign over 1,000 words, and that she understood about 2,000 spoken words. Coco was also famous for having pet kittens. She was always extremely gentle and affectionate with her kittens.
A mouser is a cat that is kept for the purpose of catching mice. In England, there has been a mouser at the Prime Minister's residence for centuries. The most popular of these cats was a stray named Humphrey, who, in 1989, was the first cat to receive the official title Chief Mouser to the Cabinet Office. His care cost £100 and was paid from the department's budget. It was said to be far cheaper than the fees previously paid to exterminators. Humphrey, who was beloved in the UK, retired in 1997.
One day in 1969, John Rendell and Anthony Burke saw a real live lion cub in a London department store window. Feeling that a lion should not be kept this way, they bought him and took him home to live in Rendell's basement. The lion, whom they named Christian, is said to have been an affectionate and extremely cooperative cat who even used a giant kitty litter box. Christian was pampered. He was brought on drives, strolls through the neighborhood, and even to restaurants. But when Christian grew to almost 200 pounds, 90 kilograms, it was decided that he should be released into the wild. Christian was brought to Africa, where he adapted to life in the wild and eventually became the leader of a group of lions. A year later, Rendell and Burke traveled to Africa to say goodbye. They were warned that Christian would not remember them. However, when Christian saw his old friends, he ran towards them, stood on his back legs, and joyfully gave each of them a long and loving embrace.
I'm interested in speaking to someone about horse training. A friend of mine suggested I come here.
What kind of problems are you having with your horse?
He's a beautiful, strong, and affectionate horse, but he's driving me crazy. He won't follow instructions. He will gallop instead of cantering. He won't turn when I need him to, and if he spots a patch of grass, he'll head straight for it and ignore me completely.
I gather you have a young stallion. I will check the schedule, and we can arrange training sessions for you and your horse. Hang in there.
Okay, but in the meantime, I really need some advice. How should I handle him when he disobeys?
Well, I can try and give you a few tips now. You say he'll head straight for a patch of grass when he sees one. Do you let him do that when you're out riding?
Well, sometimes, but I only want to stop for a minute or so.
You need to set rules and then stick with them 24/7. If you're not consistent, he's not going to learn.
Okay, but when he is all friendly and nice, it's hard not to let him do what he wants.
Look, I'm going to get to the point. It sounds to me like your horse is calling the shots. You need to be firmer. If you train your horse not to do something, then suddenly let him do it, you'll be back to the drawing board.
One. Jack owns a very energetic young stallion. 2. The horse has an intelligent, gentle nature. 3. Ponies have beautiful features and are popular with children. 4. Many true stories demonstrate that horses are loyal human companions. 5. These are just a few of the techniques used to train horses.
Animal heroes. One night, Pilar was in a deep sleep when she was woken by her cat, Inti. Inti was meowing wildly outside Pilar's bedroom and throwing himself against the closed bedroom door. When Pilar opened her eyes, she saw that her bedroom was filling with smoke. As she escaped her house with Inti in her arms, she saw that a fire was blazing in her kitchen. Pilar could easily have lost consciousness from breathing in the smoke, but Inti would not let that happen. Even though Inti could have escaped the house through a cat door, he wouldn't leave Pilar. A fireman at the scene said, "Without question, that cat is responsible for saving his owner's life. He should be honored as a hero." As amazing as this story is, it is not as uncommon as you may think. There are countless stories of animals coming to the aid of humans in life-threatening situations. Animals are said to have a sixth sense for danger. Often they are alert to danger before humans are and have used this awareness to protect humans from harm. Take the example of Charlotte Lee and her horse, Thunder. One warm summer night, the whole family was asleep with the windows open. It was normally very quiet where they lived. There were only a few farmhouses scattered about the area and hardly any traffic. All of a sudden, there was a loud crashing noise from the stable. Charlotte woke up with a start and her heart pounding as the noise continued. She was so frightened she froze. No matter how hard she tried, she could not move. The noise stopped as suddenly as it had started, and she heard a horse galloping towards the house. The next thing she saw was Thunder standing outside her window, neighing and shaking his head as he stomped on the wooden porch. She knew enough about horses to know that Thunder was disturbed for a reason, and wasted no time speculating. She quickly got everyone out of the house before the earthquake hit. Part of the roof caved in and crashed into her room. Thunder had deliberately saved her life. Yet, it is not only domesticated animals who have acted heroically. There are also stories of wild animals coming to the rescue of humans. One animal known to be a friend and protector of humans is the dolphin. Dolphins are considered to be among the most intelligent of animals. On dozens of occasions, they have used this intelligence to come to the aid of humans in dangerous situations. One such story involves a surfer named Todd Endress. Todd was surfing with his friends when he was attacked by a 13-foot, 4-meter shark. In the middle of the attack, a group of dolphins came to his rescue by forming a protective ring around Endress until he could get safely to shore. Without the help of the dolphins, there is little chance that Todd would have survived. At times, even animals commonly considered aggressive and dangerous have come to the aid of humans. One famous case involves Binti Jua, an 8-year-old female gorilla who lives at the Brookfield Zoo in Illinois, USA. Binti was celebrated as a hero when she protected a 3-year-old boy who fell into the walled gorilla area. Binti picked up the unconscious boy, carefully cradled him in her arms, and brought him to the zookeeper's door so that he could be taken out. After 4 days in the hospital, the boy recovered completely. No one is sure why animals have so often come to our aid. However, it is clear evidence of the deep and powerful bond between humans and animals. It is important that we respect this bond by treating animals with the care and compassion that they often show us.
All about dolphins. Dolphins are marine mammals that are claimed to have evolved from land mammals some 50 or 60 million years ago. Studies indicate that they are closely related to hippos, camels, and cows. There has been an unending debate on the exact origin of dolphins and whales that is likely to continue for years to come. There are 32 types of dolphins that live in saltwater. Dolphins eat about 20 to 25 kilos of fish per day. Their eating habits vary depending on the area and the time of year. If there is an abundance of fish, they will happily consume as much as they need. Interestingly, dolphins regulate their food intake according to the fat content of the fish available and their hunger. In this sense, they can probably control their food intake more efficiently than humans. Did you also know that their brains weigh more than ours? Dolphins can recognize themselves in a mirror, scan objects in the water using sonar, sleep with one eye closed, whistle and recognize each other by their whistles, go to a depth of about 260 meters. There is mutual interest between dolphins and people. They are as interested in observing us as we are in them. Dolphins love having fun, communicating, and playing. They are also keen on helping and supporting their own kind and other species that are in danger. The bottlenose dolphin is the most studied and familiar to people, with a life expectancy of about 40 to 50 years. Bottlenose dolphins show an extraordinary connection with humans and have rescued injured divers repeatedly. These wonderful creatures deserve our admiration and respect and need to be protected.